I've registered my presentation in English, so we are continuing in English. Thank you very much for your attendance here in this forum. Actually, I think it's quite difficult to top now the presentation from before because it was announced to be the highlight of the security show, but I will do my very best. I'm talking about cloud security or physical security linked to cloud computing. And I'm sure you have seen similar pictures before because the cloud is today everywhere. And just us in the security industry, we are a bit reluctant to adopt this new technology. And this is actually one of the objectives of this presentation. We want to bring the cloud closer to you in regard to physical security because we have been developing cloud products since quite a couple of years already. We can see it's slowly moving. But we are promoting here also the ongoing and continuous acceptance of cloud computing. So everything goes cloud, and so intruder applications and access control applications do as well. I want to show a couple of slides which are preparational for the overall or for the actual topic. So what has enabled us to produce and to develop products which are cloud compatible and using cloud services. So both the internet speed as well as computing power have developed in an incredible manner. If you look at the past 25 to 30 years, we have an increase of computing power by a factor 1 million, and equally storage space in the internet or in general has decreased cost-wise by factor 1 million. And these are two movements and developments which have led to the situation that intrusion detection and access control nowadays are usable on cloud technologies. What does cloud mean? Another preparational slide for the overall topic. Cloud means the use of IT infrastructure and services that are not locally available on local computers, but which are rented as a service and accessed over the network. So you don't have to bring your PC, which runs the access control application, to your customers. You bring the absolutely necessary piece of hardware, which are the access controllers and the readers on site, and all the rest resides in the cloud and is used as a service, which we are going to, as a manufacturer, which we are going to provide to you for the use in your applications. Another important aspect to know: how secure are cloud-based services? Of course, if you're talking about security, this is a key topic to be addressed. And there are some aspects to be taken into consideration. For example, the location of a server can be chosen. That is also very important, looking at GDPR and data protection guidelines, which have been come into place and are effective since May. And we are compliant to such guidelines because our servers are located in the European Union. As for purely locally acting and working systems, the services coming from the cloud are not unassailable. Still, we are counting on these services because it's much easier to maintain and keep the services provided by the cloud on an up-to-date status. And that's why we think, and that's why we are developing towards cloud systems, because if you place a PC running an access control application at your customer, usually it's outdated because normally you would have to update that PC at least once a month to have it to the most recent application and operation system versions. If you take the services from the cloud, you're always up to date, and that of course also applies to all security relevant aspects. If you're going cloud, it's just very important that you choose the right partners, and that means us as a hardware and service provider to you, but also the provision of the underlying services from the cloud, like let's say Amazon, where we are taking or Microsoft, where we are taking our services from. Another few aspects how our services are composed. You have several levels of services to be used out from the cloud. So one of which is the lowest level, infrastructure as a service. So providers like Amazon would provide web services, rent out storage and computer capacity. But on that level, all the rest of the services, including the software, would be provided by another application and by another party. On the next level, a platform as a service, companies can rent predefined platforms for software development, like for example Microsoft Azure, and the providers deal with the administration of the underlying services. So they take already some of the effort to be taken to continuously run and provide the security, the reliability of the services. Then on the very top level, we are talking software as a service, and that is now where we are providing our services. So our access control applications, they are running using these underlying services on the cloud, and you just take the piece of service which is relevant for your specific customer, and only to that extent as you really use it. So you buy only the service which is necessary for your specific customer, which may run only a small office with a single door. So you have minimum costs for these services to be provided. Last but not least, of course, you base the local installation on products as you can buy it from us, like readers and access control panels, which are installed locally and are using software services from the cloud, following this scheme here. We have found quite a reluctance to use software services from the cloud in the security application, but if you look at the broad and vast offerings from the services you're using today, there's of course the question, why not using in security cloud-based application as well? So you use it in everyday life. So services like Amazon, eBay, Uber, Airbnb, PayPal, in information technologies, Google, YouTube, Spotify. In software as a services, many of us are using Office 365. So this really continues to get greater acceptance. So the question here is, why not using security services for intrusion detection and for access control system as well? And that's where we are going right now too. So previously, the model as shown here on the left-hand side is you are buying hardware like readers, panels, deploying it to the customer. You're bringing software on-site on a PC. You're putting additional hardware to run that software. You're selling the licenses to your customer, and all that products and all that equipment is located in your customer's place. And the difference in the new model is now you have a minimum of hardware to be deployed at your customer, which is, as I mentioned, the physical access control and intrusion equipment like the intrusion panel, the access control panel, reader, motion detectors and so on. But all of the rest of the services is coming from the cloud and is only being invoiced to the level as it's used in the very specific installation. So why is this model now attractive to you? We have two aspects. If you look at the economics, where you can make money, more money, or where you can save money. So cloud computing and cloud applications in access control and intrusion will allow you to save significantly cost, and on the other hand, to provide additional services which you weren't able to deliver in the past. So these are the two building blocks to make your business more profitable using cloud-based access and intruder control system. So now let's have a look at the individual services you're providing, where we support you with our products to become more efficient and to market new services, what you haven't done in the past. In the area of cost savings, first of all, our cloud-based systems are very easy to be set up because you have a minimum amount of equipment. You don't deal with PCs to bring them locally on site. So you're very quick and efficient, and you're cost saving by such an approach. You have cost advantages when using cloud-based services because the whole part of the software is coming from cloud services. As I mentioned, you have a reduction of local hardware and local maintenance tasks. No PC on site. That's something which is completely coming from the cloud. That goes along with the fourth point. You have a lower capital commitment and lower fixed costs by not having any PCs on site on your customer site. You have a greater flexibility in providing services at your customer. Your systems are independent. You may not have only one system at the customer, but several, but you don't care about different operating system because that's again all hosted into the cloud. You don't have any software compatibility problems because as we host and run the software in the cloud, it's always up to date because we are running on any of the thousands of the systems we have installed already. We are running the software updates continuously and you don't have to care about that at all. That also includes the underlying operating systems, which you normally would also have to update on a regular basis at the customer premises. So no software update, no security patches, the system is always up to date. Then on the scalability side, cloud-based systems are extremely easy to scale. As I mentioned before, we have, for example, controllers for a single door. That means you just add as many controllers as you have doors to cover. So you can, in a very cost-efficient way, only serve a customer with a single door in a single office, but you can scale up the system to a very big and a complex system with hundreds or maybe even thousands of doors. You're benefiting by using cloud services of having an enormous accessibility of your system because as the system connects to the cloud, you can connect to the system via the cloud at any time and into any location. You have a high data protection and data security by hosting it to the cloud, and we strongly believe the security level is much higher due to the mentioned reasons because there is a continuous update and upgrade of the software which is running in the cloud, which you as an installer would normally have to do on the premises where you installed the system on your own. You have the opportunity for a quicker and demand-oriented support handling, which will allow you to deploy and develop services to your end customer. Then last but not least, you have the opportunity to proactively monitor the service and to do preventive maintenance, for example. So as you're constantly able to monitor the system, for example, you will notice in advance that, for example, you have a battery low or battery failure situation and you can fix the problem because the actual fault pops up on site. And you can also do your service and visit planning by looking into the system, what spare parts you need to replace, and so you're much more efficient in the services you're providing to your customers. I'm just quickly now showing the systems which we are providing. As I mentioned before, we have a very holistic solution on the intrusion side where we are providing the opportunity, if you're buying our SPC panels, which is a full range of intruder panels, into SPC Connect, our cloud-based solution, which allows you to take benefit of all these mentioned services. So we have worldwide secure access to any panel, no matter if you sell it here in Essen in Germany or in New Zealand in Auckland, where we also have customers using our cloud services. So it's completely location independent. You have the opportunity to access via mobile application. So any of our panel is accessible through mobile apps and that at any time and from any location. You're safeguarding investments by having your system all the time up to date. You can do remote system user management from any place where you are. You can if you're the installer to the system, you can deploy additional services and features into the system, but just by the remote access, and you can also market these features towards your end customer. And of course, last but not least, we are providing with SPC Connect a support service platform where you can for example, back up the systems which you have on-site at your customers. You can store the configuration into the cloud. You can retrieve it at any time. You can update the firmware of the respective panels at any time from our cloud-based application. So these are all features and services which you can market to your respective customers. Secondly, on ACT, that's our access control range, also cloud-based. Just a brief overview how that system looks like. In the center, again, the cloud application itself. And then on-site, no matter where, spread over the whole world, you have access controllers serving a single door or a bigger building with many doors, including video verification, and again supporting all the services which I've just mentioned: remote accessibility, software update, configuration update, and all services which you can develop to your respective end customers. Let's now go to the very topic: how can you make more money, more profit by using our system, which are supporting all these features. On the left-hand side or in the center of the table, you have the current approach. I'm not going in very much details here, because nowadays you're in the current model, you're selling hardware, you're selling the installation, and potentially you have a service level agreement with your customer providing a regular cyclic service to your customer, but no remote access and no support to provide further services than what I just mentioned. So that's the current model. The new approach is by remote access that we enable you with our tools, with our cloud solution, to bring more services and more possibilities for additional and recurrent revenue to your customer. And I'm going now to some simple examples how you can bring that to your customer. So if you're looking at intrusion applications, this is an overview of services and features which you can manage towards your customer. So you can allow your customer to remotely set or full set or unset and so on areas within your intrusion application. You can provide status indication about the areas, the zone and the door. So just with your mobile phone you can have floor plans where every detector is located and where you can give a visual overview to your end customer, how the system is functioning, if there are any disturbances, if there is any need for maintenance, which detector has been released. So these are all things which you can bring as a service to your customer. You can interact with your local system, you can control outputs, you can open, you can close doors, you can provide live streams to the application on any mobile. You can provide email information from the overall system. For example, if the system detects an alarm, you can provide an email containing that information with some details about the site. You can just provide a generic system report on the system via email. We again and also support push notifications to a mobile application. We have portal access to our cloud solution where you can manage, if you have several sites, you can manage the panels. We are providing a secure remote access. We are providing audio and video verification opportunities. And so this is just an example of a list of individual features which you can make part of your offering to your end customers. And so we are just enabling with our cloud solution such services which were not available in the past, to market these to your customer and to make recurrent revenue. Let's now look into a small example how this commercially could look like. So we are providing you cloud services, and an installer would buy such services from us. So we have taken an example from a real customer who is buying at us. It's an installation company. You have 6 technicians. Per year, he's deploying some 100 intrusion panels aside other security equipment, and some 70 intrusion panels out of these 100 would be connected to the cloud and would like to use cloud services. So these 70 panels would get access through the cloud to push and email services. Some 15 would have additional audio and video verification functions. And another 10 would have premium services like configuration backup in the cloud and firmware update to the panel if needed. So this is our offering to you, which you can buy from us and where you can build your services to your end customer upon. To stick now a bit to the commercial side, for these services which you would buy from us as a supplier, a small installer as shown here would have a cost of some 500 euros per year to make use himself of all these services linked to his installed base of 70 cloud-based panel spread all over Germany, for example. So that's what we are selling to you as an installation company. Okay. So what can you make out of this? And this is actually what the enabling part of what we want to bring you as our customers. So this is the picture as it looks like from you as a company selling installations to your customers. So you will sell the services you're buying for 500 euros in these basic packages, in add-on packages. For remote maintenance, for audio and video verification, and you will be able to market this, for example, to 7,500 euros to your end customers where you did deploy your panels. So you have a cost of 500 euros per year, and you get an additional revenue stream continuously every month by the services you rent out to your customers. And this is the benefit we are bringing by the cloud services and our panels to your customer base, enabling you to market such services to your customers. So I think that was actually the point. What is the benefit for you? What take you out of our offering? If you base your services on our panels in intrusion and access control, you will be able to market own and additional services to your customer base on a small invest of 500 euros, creating recurrent revenue all over the year.